The auto world has spoken in a single, thunderous voice for the past decade. The future is electric. It's a full-scale revolution, with every major company from Toyota to Tesla staking their entire legacy on the battery. Governments passed laws, CEOs made grand promises, and trillions of dollars were funneled into a single, unified vision of a silent, plug-in tomorrow. But what if that entire vision was built on a fragile assumption? What if the industry, in its mad rush to innovate, forgot to listen to the very people it was supposed to serve? This isn't a theoretical question anymore, because one company, a legendary Italian underdog, just called their bluff. While giants were building spaceship-like EVs, Fiat was quietly working on a different kind of revolution. They didn't launch another electric car. They launched the Fiat Grande Panda Hybrid. And this isn't just a new model, it's a declaration of war on the very direction of the entire auto industry. This is the story of how a simple, boxy, and shockingly affordable car started exposing the deep cracks in the electric dream, and in doing so, forced every other car company on the planet to go back to the drawing board. To understand the genius of this move, you have to look past the sheet metal and see the century of strategy behind it. Fiat isn't some new startup trying to make a name for itself. Since 1899, their entire identity has been built on one core principle: understanding the common driver better than anyone else. They are less of a car company and more of a mass-market psychologist. While other brands chase headlines with horsepower and Nürburgring lap times, Fiat has been mastering the art of the practical, the reliable, and the affordable. And the data from the last 2 years is impossible to ignore. While the media cycle was dominated by Tesla's stock price and BYD's sales figures, Fiat was silently dominating the European streets. They sold between 500,000 and 600,000 cars, with the iconic Fiat 500 holding the #1 spot for Europe's best-selling small car for months on end. This wasn't luck. This was evidence. It proved that Fiat had its finger directly on the pulse of the European consumer. And the pulse they were feeling wasn't a frantic excitement for EVs. It was a slow, steady beat of hesitation. They identified a massive silent majority of buyers who liked the idea of an electric car but were deeply fearful of the reality. Fiat wasn't just selling cars. They were listening to the whispers of doubt that the rest of the industry was shouting over. And those whispers of doubt were pointing to some very loud, very real problems. The electric revolution has a dirty little secret, one that's become an open scandal in European cities.
Let's talk about the charging apartheid. If you're lucky enough to own a house with a garage, owning an EV is relatively simple. But for the millions of Europeans living in apartments, the dream becomes a logistical nightmare. Where do you charge? Relying solely on public charging stations means planning your life around your car's battery level, dealing with broken chargers, and waiting in line like you're at a DMV for cars. Then there's the financial time bomb hiding under the floor: the battery. EV manufacturers offer long warranties, but the moment that warranty expires, you are facing a potential bill that can run into the thousands, often exceeding the car's resale value. This creates a phenomenon of premium anxiety, the constant low-grade stress of protecting your car's most expensive component from damage, degradation, or just bad luck. For the average person, a car is supposed to be a tool of freedom, not a source of constant financial worry. Fiat looked at this landscape of anxiety and saw a golden opportunity. They realized that for a huge portion of the market, the electric future wasn't a step forward. It was a leap of faith they simply weren't willing to take. So, Fiat engineers went to work not on a better battery, but on a smarter solution. The heart of the Grande Panda is a masterpiece of pragmatic engineering. Its hybrid system is a compact, self-contained unit that acts like an intelligent co-pilot, constantly making decisions to optimize efficiency without the driver ever lifting a finger. Here's how it works in practice. When you're crawling through city traffic, pulling away from a stoplight, or maneuvering in a tight parking lot, the car runs almost exclusively on the electric motor. This gives you that instant, silent, and smooth torque that makes EVs so enjoyable in urban environments. But as you accelerate onto a faster road or need a burst of power, the petrol engine seamlessly engages to provide the necessary thrust. The transition is so smooth, you often don't even notice it. The system even uses regenerative braking to capture energy that would otherwise be lost and uses it to recharge its small battery. This is the core elegance of the setup. It offers an electric-like driving experience for the daily commute where it matters most, while completely eliminating the two biggest phobias of EV ownership: range anxiety and charging dependency. You just get in and drive. Fill it with petrol like you always have, and let the car's brain handle the rest. It's a brilliant deception, giving you 80% of the EV benefit with 0% of the classic EV hassle. This philosophy of intelligent simplicity is echoed perfectly in the car's controversial, boxy design. In an era where car design has become a contest of swooping, aggressive, and often indistinguishable lines, the Grande Panda stands out by standing still. It's unapologetically rectangular, but every single line of that boxy shape serves a critical purpose. The tall, flat roof isn't a retro styling cue, it's a promise of headroom, creating an airy, spacious cabin that belies the car's small external footprint. The large, square doors and tall seating position make getting in and out effortless, a huge benefit for older drivers or young families with strollers. The short overhangs and compact dimensions make it an absolute master of urban parking, able to slip into spaces that would give other drivers a panic attack. This design isn't trying to look like a spaceship, it's trying to look like the most practical tool you own. And in a world saturated with complexity, that simplicity is a breath of fresh air. It builds trust. The car feels honest, reliable, and uncomplicated, a stark contrast to the high-tech, sometimes temperamental nature of many modern EVs. It's a design that says, I know what my job is, and I'm very, very good at it. All of this engineering and design genius would be a mere academic exercise if it wasn't for the final, devastating piece of the puzzle: the price. Fiat employed a brutal, cost-focused strategy to bring the Grande Panda Hybrid to market at a price point that can only be described as a market disruptor. They used a simple, proven platform, a compact hybrid system, and a no-frills approach to manufacturing to keep the cost astonishingly low. When you compare the sticker price of the Grande Panda to even the most basic electric vehicles from Renault or Dacia, the difference is staggering. But the real financial masterstroke is revealed when you look at the long-term cost of ownership. Without the worry of a catastrophic battery failure, with lower insurance premiums than a comparable EV, and with fuel costs that are a fraction of a traditional petrol car in the city, the Grande Panda Hybrid becomes a financial safe haven. It's a car that understands the current economic climate, where every euro counts. It's not a status symbol, it's a statement of intelligent financial sense. This is why it's quickly earning the title of Europe's new people's car, a mantle that carries immense emotional and commercial weight. Now, watch what happens when you drop a product this targeted and this affordable into a crowded market. The dominoes begin to fall, and the panic is palpable among three key players. First, Toyota, the undisputed king of hybrid technology for decades, is facing its most credible threat in years. The Grande Panda Hybrid offers a similarly efficient and reliable system, but wrapped in a more modern, stylish, and arguably more practical package at a highly competitive price. Why would a city dweller automatically choose a Toyota Yaris hybrid when the Fiat offers more character and space? The second and more significant shockwave is hitting the affordable EV segment, specifically targeting Renault and Dacia. Their entire business case for models like the Dacia Spring EV is built on being the lowest cost entry into electric mobility. The Grande Panda Hybrid completely dismantles that argument. For a similar or even lower price, a buyer can get a car that offers a superior interior, a smoother city drive, and most importantly, absolute freedom from the charging infrastructure. It steals the practical and affordable crown right off their heads. This one car has effectively created a new category, the no-compromise affordable hybrid. And in doing so, it has made a whole slate of competing models from established giants look instantly outdated or overpriced. This brings us to the final and most profound question raised by the Fiat Grande Panda Hybrid.
In its bold rejection of the industry's groupthink, did Fiat just reveal a better path to the future? For years, the narrative was that we had to make a jarring, immediate leap from petrol to electric. Fiat is now arguing, with the compelling evidence of its sales figures, that this was a flawed strategy. They have made a powerful case for the hybrid not as a temporary stepping stone, but as the primary transition technology for the next decade, especially for the massive, price-sensitive segment of the market. The Grande Panda Hybrid is more than just a car. It's a correction. It's a message that the true path to a sustainable future isn't through forcing expensive, imperfect technology on reluctant consumers, but by meeting them where they are with smart, efficient, and accessible solutions. Fiat didn't just launch a new model. They challenged a dogma. And in doing so, they may have just proven that the road to the future isn't a single electric highway, but a network of smarter, more pragmatic routes. And for millions of Europeans, the smartest route of all might just be behind the wheel of a simple, boxy, and revolutionary little car from Italy.